Okay, so today they will be here and present and introduce the community center and what they've been doing for community care practice. Thank you. Yeah. 对，是。
只能够讲国语哦。
呀，我尽力。
好，各位好同学，大家早安。
Okay, good morning, everyone.
我稍微介绍一下我们的区。
Let me introduce our community center.
社区开始营造在民国94年。
In year 2004.
到现在到今年
sorry.
已经有十几年，快20年，十几年的时间了。
Yeah, it's almost 20 years we've been working in this place and have run in this community center.
然后我们是从社会福利开始，就是从老人服务、小朋友服务。
Okay, sorry. We started everything from welfare related to kids.
还有新住民服务，然后一直进展到现在有产业、社区产业。
Okay, so we also help the. Sorry, the broadcasting was. Is still broadcasting? Someone just called me. I'm sorry. Sorry. Basically, yeah. Okay, go on.
好，然后我们现在很固定的，就是老人服务的话，现在每星期3、4、5、6都会请这些老人为这些老人办照顾据点的健康促进。
So for activities related to health promotion and free meals we provide for the elderly, we will provide between Wednesday to Saturday.
所以今天星期4，然后我们也会聘请原本师资的老师来为这些长辈带一些健康促进的。
It is Thursday today, so we will actually invite a teacher to come at this time to show us how to prevent dementia.
然后这些长辈做完了健康促进以后，他们会留在这边一起共餐。
So the elders, after the course on prevention of dementia, they will have free meals together with us.
所以最主要是要鼓励我们的这些长辈，不要在每一个人都是躲在自己的家里，然后鼓励他们出来这边，大家去聚会啊，做一些健康促进啊，让每一个人的身体啊都比较健康，然后生活愉快。
To make sure that everyone is in a very healthy state, so we invite them to have meals together, to have health promotion activities together.
然后在3年前，因为政府社会福利这一块的经费的补助是越来越少。
3 years ago, the government actually decreased their funding on funding the communities on the things we do for the elders.
所以社区就会很企图的、很认真的去模组是去扩展自己社区的产业。
So most community centers were forced to develop their own business.
然后将社区产业的这些盈余，然后有部分会回馈到我们社会福利这一块。
So of course, some of the profits we have, we will use it on the elders we have.
然后像去年开始，我们在社区产业方面，我们有争取到那个劳动部的一个计划，多元就业方案的计划，所以我们有专案经理人，还有一些帮忙学校社区产业的人员。
So last year we got some support from the government. So now they will provide extra help on providing teachers and guidance and advice for us.
所以在产业这一块我们的专案经理人他会有就是一个比较新颖，有一些比较突出的一些做法就是可能就是做到生态饮食这一块。然后等一下我们就由我们的专案经理人来为大家介绍。
So because we develop more on how to eat healthy with very healthy vegetable, and we actually have to grow in the right way. So this whole sets of the idea. We have a manager to mention in this. So later we will get her to introduce this.
来介绍一下，这是我们的专案经理人施伟小姐。
Okay, so this is our manager, and her name is Miss Shi.
Yeah, just call me Sylvia.
Okay, her name is Sylvia. All right.
Hi everyone. Welcome to Jiuzhen community. I know you guys are still in at home or in the university, but here is actually open for everyone. So if you guys are interested after this class, you're welcome to connect us and come and welcome to visit us and see what's going on with the
activities.
零售融节 what she just said. So for me, I actually come from city, so I'm actually young. So for me, community is very interesting and attractive for young generation. Why I say that? Because a lot of things happen when you are in a community. You will notice that people and people are really connect. It's not like when you are in the city. You can see people around you, but you don't really feel very connecting with them. But in this community, everyone are very close. And what Xiaoru just said about this community, how to make it run, is actually all about local people, how they connect to each other and what they really need. So they know what they really need and they give what they really want. So today I will show you how, as a young generation, how I run it up, how I use my idea and the point of me to do some interesting activities and share with local people. And also, I'm trying to learning how to see what people really need. I interact with local people and understand what they want. And also, as a young generation and from the city, I know what city people really want and what young generation really like. So I am just like the linker between everyone. I will show you how I make this happen.
Right. Give me a second. Sorry. A second. Okay. So I'm gonna. I'm share. So we're gonna switch the screen to the computer. So give us a second. Thank you.
Andy 没有分享画面。
I know。给我一些。Okay, so we can do this one.
这样太阳被
Oops, sorry.
不是，你放那个影片给你那个投影片，
很亮。
他已经够了。
那他们可以，
我给带你这里去现场。
他们可以在其他。
可以啊。
可以。
Testing, guys, can you hear us? On another device.
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
Yes, okay. So, thank you. Okay, let's continue with this. 老师的声音会继续哦。直接按你就可以直接对着这里讲。
可以回答我吗？
他们是可以的，但是就是我要特别把喇叭打开。
Hello. So I just saw you. I just saw all of you. So where you guys come from?
Singapore.
Singapore.
Indonesia.
Indonesia. And any
Japan.
place?
Japan.
Japan. Oh,
Australia.
Australia. Nice. So everyone knows. I think maybe not in Singapore, but Indonesia, Japan, or Australia, you see farm. You definitely see farm, right? In your life, you see where the food come from. You see the land that grow food, right?
Ah, yes. The rice field.
Grow up in the city. No, everybody are from. So Ufeng is more like a countryside, right? Yes. Okay. Okay. So
收音山那边的。
所以现在去到这里。
Okay. So
So let's come to our slides. Okay.
So this is what we talk in Zhouzhen. Now we're talking about the food, but because Zhouzhen is actually a countryside, and most of the countryside is have a lot of things grow in their land. So you can actually see how the food grow, how the farmers take care of their land. And so today I will introduce you what Asian University did and how the Asian University used different class and different course to bring students to the community to understand Ufeng. And everybody know Ufeng is a very big place that have different variety type of farm, right? So for example, Ufeng is very famous for rice, and we have a very good farmers that know the different technology to make the rice growing healthy and even be able to use new technology and new idea to make non-toxic happened in Ufeng. It's actually very hard. I know for everybody know organic food is healthy, organic food is good, but it's just for us, for people who's not a farmer. This is easy for us to say that, but actually, if you are actually a real farmer and you really wanna try to grow something without any toxic help, it's actually very hard. So natural farming is a very hard way to do. You need to have
courage to do that, because everyone use their land to take care of their family. They need to use their land to bring enough of food to sell to the market and bring money back to their home, so they will be able to raise their family. And this is actually very hard for them to really make organic happen in Wufeng. But still, Wufeng farmers still try to do it and really happen and really success. So today I will share, after we know these stories, how we're gonna bring more farmers to understand it. At the same time, we need to bring more consumer to come to Wufeng and understand their value. So this is what we do. So first, for Asian University, we will bring students to have this course. It's called Wufeng course. And Wufeng course is actually start from 2004, I think. So it's been almost 15 years or 16 years today. And how we make this happen? So we will, the first half of the semester, we will try to take students to different places in Wufeng and make them understand what Wufeng is like, what's Wufeng culture, what Wufeng have, from food to Guangxi village, different type of education system. They will understand all type of things. Any kind of things about Wufeng they will try to introduce, including different community. And they will take the student to they will take out let the student get out of the go out and really go into the community or interact with local people. And we will choose local people that who have local very special skills. For example, somebody are good in baking, but the way they do baking is they use natural way to make bread or make cake. So we will ask him if he's willing to share his skills to students, and if he said yes, then he will be our teacher, Wufeng course teacher. So every semester we will try to bring students to interact with different teachers. And this woman, Shou Ru, is what you saw. She is the director of Zhouzhen community. And she's also one of our Wufeng course teachers. This is Wufeng course. And Wufeng course, we try to ask teachers to take students, just try to do what they do in normal days. So for example, if we saw there's a lot of like the pictures, we saw the trees have palm already. We can get the palm. This is palm tree, and so we will ask students, hey, just get the palm, and we will make the alcohol together. And after 1 year later, the palm, this alcohol is already done, and everybody can come and drink together. Things like this. Or we will invite local farmers to introduce his farm, how he interact with the land. He don't really need to share the technology, or he don't really need to share how he because no one are really a farmer. So we just need to know how he feel when he doing these things, any kind of things in Wufeng. When he doing things that he do every day, how he feel or how she feel. And the student will really connect something, and they will share their feelings with the farmers. And after this kind of interact, they will always have new idea together. So for example, if students know how to do design, they will say, oh, how about I make a Facebook page and we can do some marketing and share what you just told us today. And somehow it really helped the farmers. So it's a very good interact way. And then we bring what we learned back to the university and share with more students. So this is U course. And after a few years later, Ufeng course also have our land and have our paddy and you can see this is Ufeng course's rice, and it's really a product, and you can really buy it in Taichung City. So it's also a very interesting product for us, very meaningful. So while I'm sharing this with you guys today, is we are talking about the value of how we live in Ufeng, and actually those people, how they use this value to live in their life. So I will just skip this part. Just very quickly share this part with you. So this is, we talked about the first things is craft. For example, what is craft for us today? It's just something that we saw on YouTube. It's called DIY handcraft, or you can buy it in any kind of shop. It's like 1 minute for us, but actually any kind of craft is very meaningful for ancient peoples. For example, how we make one clothes. In today, we will use we will go to Zara and buy one, and one clothes is only $300. It's very cheap for us, but for ancient people, if you want to make one clothes, you actually have to
chicken.
Hello.
Excuse me. Please mute your microphone.
It's okay.
Okay.
You can continue.
So
It's okay.
So for example, the first thing is if you're in this community, you will see this part, like how we make a clothes. We will use they will start from having a plant, and then we wait for the plant to grow up, and then you take part of the plant to make lines and make it into clothes, and even you need to dye it with the clothes into different colors, and then you try to understand your own culture and make the beautiful patterns on top of the clothes, and then make into one piece of clothes. So this is very long process. So any kind of things in this community, it actually looks just like this. Everybody put a lot of effort on one thing. So it's not only about clothes. It could be any kind of tools they use. It could be food they make. It could be just one meal they grow for a year. Okay. So 这个好像回到这个页面了吗？ Okay. So in this in this community, lots of people will use this kind of idea to live. It's not like what we live in the city. Everything is very easy for us. Here, it's not that easy. Everybody are used to use their effort on one thing, one little stuff that you can get very easy. For example, you can get food very easy today, but for them, all the food is very valuable because they take good care of them for a year, so they can get one meal on their tables. Or if they use their tools, they won't throw it away if it's broke. They will try to fix it because it's valuable for them. It's just like the clothes for ancient people. It's very valuable for them because with the long process that you made, this everything are important for them and meaningful for them. So, and the second thing is about here is the agriculture. And when we talk about agriculture, it's not only the normal agriculture, but the natural farming way. So it's including how they try to not waste anything. For example, after the food, after the things that, after all the plants grow up, they can get things that they could sell on the market, but also they will have a lot of things that waste after they sell. So if, for example, here I have people who grow guava, and sometimes the guava is not pretty enough to sell in the market. So what we do, the first thing we do is we try to find the guava which is still, it look ugly but still good to eat. So first we will try to make the price lower and try to sell it in the market. Or the second thing, we try to make it into guava juice or jam, or we will try to make it dry, so it could be a kind of sweet things to eat, and you can storage it easier. So you don't waste food that you grow by yourself. And if after this, sometimes if we make a guava juice, and you need to take the seeds out, right? So how we gonna use the seed? We will try to make it into something more healthy, mixed with different leaves. And for 3 months later, it could be something organic and healthy, or into soil. And then you put it back to the land. So this long process make people will understand more how to be more close to the land, and how to understand the real organic life look like. And the third thing is ecology. We all know that the non-toxic way to do farming is actually very hard. So why they want to do non-toxic way to grow something that could be very easy if you use chemistry way to grow things. So this part is because of the ecology, because we all know that if you use toxic, it definitely gonna poison your land. So if once you use toxic, a lot of things will disappear within only few months. For example, if you kill different kind of grass, then you will kill all the bugs. And if you kill all the insects, then lots of frog or birds that would need to eat this type of insects will also disappear. And then if frog gone, if birds gone, you will see the owl gone. You will also see the snake gone. So this is actually a chance, right? So just by what we did, it's actually have a big influence to your land. So you should know that everybody have their voice, and we should try to hear their voice. So this is what we learn in this community too. We will teach you guys how to hear the voice, how to hear their voice. But for people, it's very hard. And the last things is about taste. And taste is not only about taste the real food, taste the real taste, but also the taste of your life. Do you understand how the beauty of life should look like? Or have you ever touched any kind of things that you really made by yourself? So you know the best meal that you could make is the food that the meal you made by yourself, right? It's not the meal that made from Michelin 3 stars chef, but the meal that you made by yourself. So that's why I like to cook. Every time I cook, I will really feel, wow, this meal is really nice. But I know what the real chef could do. They could make the food very pretty. They could make the food taste good, but they don't taste. I cannot taste the feeling. I can only taste the feeling by myself. So this is you can also learn in this community. We will try to teach you how to taste the food, what it original should taste like. And also we will teach you how to see the culture of this community, how people put this value on the food, on the things that they made, not only the food, including the tool they use, including the table they use, the plates they use, because they don't waste, right? So this is what we do. So with this 4 system, we will try to bring people to understand how they should feel in this community. And so how to make this really happen to make people quickly understand in Wufeng. This is what I do. So I found a very special bird. It's called Cai Yu. And Cai Yu have a little story. So I will tell you this story. So Cai Yu, this kind of bird, is grow up in the paddy, and they normally the father will take good care of their kids. So this year, Papa said, "Hey babies, let's go find. Let me teach you how to find the food." So they try to learn how to find the food. Oh, the people who the bird who's gonna eat us is coming, so we need to hide. Let me teach you how to hide, how to protect yourself. So they learn how to protect themselves this year. And this year, the 哎，怎么讲翻土鸡啊？翻土鸡。check. The Earth Machine, the Reaper.
Let's see. The Ripper Scarifier.
The Reaper Scarifier are coming, so they need to try to jump to the paddy right next to them to escape the Reaper.
Yeah, Ripper.
Let's call it Ripper. The Reaper machine. Okay.
Yeah.
So after the Reaper machine passed, all the beautiful bugs, insects, all the food will shows up. So you can go. We can go back to the original paddy and get the food that we need. So this year is like this, and then the next year, Papa also the Cai Yu Papa also say the same things to their kids. And he said, "Hey, babies, let's go try to find the food like last year." And the babies know, yeah, I remember how to do it. So they're very happy. And there's something that happened. Let's take care of, protect yourself. And they will try to hide. But this year, the reaper machine are coming again. And Cai Yu Papa said, "Okay, let's do something just like last year. What I do." And Becky said, "Yeah, I remember." And then the Cai Yu Papa just jumped to the next paddy. But this year, 我也不会讲田埂，
田埂 field a ridge.
Ridge. This year, the ridge is not made from soil, but made from concrete this year. So Papa is big enough to jump to the next paddy, but the babies couldn't because they're too small. The last year, when the ridge still made from the soil, they have their little feet can step by step jump to the next paddy. But this year, because it's already made into concrete, so they couldn't. And the story is just stopped to here. And the reaper machine are coming, and the baby say, sorry, Papa, I couldn't jump to the next paddy. And that's it. So this is what actually happened in Ufeng. And then we told people about this story, and then we share with them a special plant it's called 大叶甜香. And then we find a Michelin chef. It's called Jimmy. He is also the top 50 Asia's best chef in 2019. And so we invite Jimmy and his team, JL Studios team, and our team. We go into a mountain to find 大叶甜香. Why we need to find this plant? It's because this plant used to grow up with rice, and but because of the toxic that we use, it's all gone. So it used to be everywhere in Taiwan. So if you ask people who is 80 years old or 90 years old, they will know how to use this. They understand, they know this plant. But if you ask the farmer who is only 50 years old, they will say they remember or they seem know it, but they don't have any feeling of these plants. But it used to be everywhere in Taiwan. So it used to be in our food. It's like a herb in Taiwan, a very special herb in Taiwan. It's like like only 50 years ago, when people cook, they will have this smell. But after 50 years later, when we cook, we don't have these plants. So we don't have a very special taste in our food. So this type of things is already gone. So this is also part of our culture, right? So it's already gone. So Jimmy is actually come from Singapore, and he never see any kind of things like this. And he's also never know what food original should look like. So he come to this university, and actually we went all the way to the North Taiwan in Gongliao, inside of the mountains, to find this plant and then bring it back to Ufeng. But we are a little bit scared to just put it directly back to the paddy. So we put it back to this eco pond to take care of 大叶甜香, this plant, for a while to make it grow. And Jimmy, because he's very good in cooking, so he used his cooking skill to share this story. He's like a storyteller. Everybody are storytellers. So like he is very good in cooking. So he used a meal to share this story, from how he know the farming, how he understand the paddy, how he feel in the paddy, to how he bring Daye Tianxiang, this plant, Paddy's friend, Daye Tianxiang, back to his home. And then we presented in Taichung Theater. So we present his meal in Taichung Theater and share these stories with everyone. And, so this is a dessert, and this dessert is made from 3 famous things in Ufeng. First thing is rice, and the second thing is pineapple, and the third thing is Daye Tianxiang. So we bring these 3 tastes together to share people how Daye Tianxiang back to its origin home. So this is what we do in this this community. We try to share how community people do in here. And for me, what you saw later in this community, all the elders here, they understand this value very much, and this value is actually what we need in our generation. So this is, you can learn if you come to this university, and this is what they will share with you. And what can you bring to them? You can bring your idea to them. For example, they want to have some energy, they try to do something together. So you can come here and just do whatever you can do. Like Jimmy, he is very good in cooking, so he used one meal to share his story, his feeling, his experience. And you can use any type of things that you know, your skills, to share your feeling with them and with anyone. So so this is the story, and I'm actually design. I study design, so I make so I am also a storyteller, right? So I also want to share the things that I learned with people. So I share the story with the like this. I share the story. I make this. I make a book, a very small book, to share the story with them, and share what ancient people do in Ufeng, and how they cook, and share our story to everyone. So if you want to share something with us, you are welcome to share with us. And so also what we do is we want to after JL Studio present their meal in the Taichung Theater, after I make this little book, we still try to do more. So we try to share this story with more people, because we want to make people understand the story and understand the value of the story. So we invite different people come to our place and use Daye Tianxiang, that plant, to think what it could be, what it could look like. So for old generation, they will say they want to make something more tradition. But for young generation like us, I like to eat pasta. So I will try to use this to make pasta. It's like basil for me. So I will make this into pasta, or make it into rice pudding, or make into apple jam. So I'm not a real chef, so I just do whatever I like. Everybody should do whatever they like. We share this story very easily and very happily together. And we also, through these kind of activities, we understand the value. And also, we also share things with all the different type of generations people. So in this picture, you see they have very young kids. He's like only 13 years old, or like 20 something years old, and it could be 50 years old, and we all together to use one little things and bring our feelings to and our values into one meal. So I think everybody could do everything in social care. And I would say this is actually a kind of social care. So you can be more creative to think about how you're gonna bring things together. 还要继续吗？
那你看你介绍完了。
哎，我介绍完了。哎，要让我宣传一下我们的活动吗？可是这样我要上。
等一下，到这里，看一下，介绍。
我可能要上一下，还是用我的手机看就好了。
应该没有办法。
那是吗？没有办法吗？
就是你没有联系。
We have a question from students. They ask, what will happen to the planting system if there's a disaster, or has it happened before?
Oh, definitely happen all the time. All the time. The different type of disaster. It could be typhoon. It could be like coronavirus.
Oh yeah.
Like right. It could be every type of things. But it doesn't matter if you know that's why I said you need to know what you need to always be flexible. So if you understand what you do, you understand this value, you have this value, then you could use any kind of skill to share.
So, okay, thank you. We have 2 more questions.
Yes.
So the first question, as you're a young generation, how do you cope with possible generation gaps when you work with or take care of the older generation?
This is say this was join.
Hello, everyone. Hello, can everyone hear us?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so you were telling us about the generation gap.
Yeah. So don't try to change people. It's very important. You don't change people by telling them what they should do. You change people but by sharing what you like to share. And some people will listen to you, some people will not. But slowly, more and more people will join together. And you should know, because for example, like organic, this value is very easy to understand, but you might think everybody should join to be the organic team. But actually no, because you are not a real farmer, so you don't know how hard it could be. If you really need to use no toxic way to grow anything, for example, you used to only need to use 8 hours in your paddy. Now you need to use 16 hours. Definitely you need to use twice of the effort for the same thing. And after you use 16 hours in the paddy for a year later, guess how much rice you can get? you can get only like less than 50% of the rice that you used to get. So tell me, how I gonna raise my family? Right? So the first, it could be very hard, but this is the right way we should do. So you should share what you do, and you should try. And it took a long time to slowly understand this value, but it doesn't mean
那个 PPT 不见了哦。
So you need to know how to use the resource around you. So for example, when you see the social care, it's always not only about the care, but about social. so you know, somebody are very good in farming, somebody are very good in understand the nature, and somebody are like very old.
PPT 不见了哦。
Like 80 years old or 90 years old, when he was a farmer, he don't use toxic. So it means he understands some way to solve the problem. But somehow, because of the toxic, is easier to control the disaster. So everybody use toxic for 10 years or 20 years later. A lot of people losing their skill to understand the land. So this now is the time you ask the older generation, hey, how you did it? And the older generation will tell you. You just need to ask. But you need to find the right question to ask.
We have one more question.
Yes.
So does this community have any special events every year or every month, like for food festivals to introduce and sell the agricultural products?
Yes. We have few different type of things to introduce and sell the agriculture product. The first thing is put it into the market. Just, you know, very business way to put it in the market and try to bring the value to the consumer to make them understand it. So they're willing to use a higher price to buy all the products. And the second thing is we try to bring more community people into this system. So if they are good in farming, they used to be good in farming, but they are old now. They don't need to use this skill to raise their family because they already retired. Then what we should do, we will try to invite them to do what they're really good in this. So normally they're super good in raising any kind of vegetables. So they will just, okay, then I will try. And you know, the real farmers, if they try to raise something for themselves, they really don't use toxic because this is something that they really gonna eat.
That's true.
So they will really, because now they're retired, they don't have the real money issues. So they could really put this value into their life. So they will really raise something very nice and healthy and beautifully, but maybe not much, but just little amount of this. And this community will provide a place for them. Later, if you're interested, we will show you the place that we provide to them, and they just come and grow the food. And we will try to share this value to people, how we invite the retired farmers to grow things that is really healthy and good. And if you are willing to support this value, then you can buy something from them. And for example, if you spend $100, then 80%, like $80 will goes to the farmers, and 20% will back to the community. And this 20% will use for this type of activities. So all kind of activities you need money, right? So like need money to pay the electricity bill. So we will use this 20% to for the year. And also so somebody asked any kind of special events. I will say yes, but I will also say no, because you don't need any kind of special event. You can introduce and you can sell this value, and you can sell the agricultural products. But still, yes, we have special events. For example, now is summer vacation time, so we know there's a different kind of religion events, have more people willing to join, and also the government have different type of festival, like shopping festival, and we will join this kind of festivals, shopping festivals, to introduce our products. But most importantly is we try to bring more local people into this local food system, and also help them to do what they're really good at. And they could just do what they're really good at with this retired age. And also they can still get some income. This is very good. And part of their income goes to this community, and then go back to them to do some things like this, some healthy social care things here. So we use this system to make this community run.
Okay. I think that's it for the questions. Thank you for your questions.
Oh, okay.
收音在这边。
收音的。OK， 收呢，现在就全部用这里了。
哦，好。
OK， so。
我先要看一下这个。这个其实我不太懂，你们来介绍。
Sorry。
介绍一下这个。
谢谢。
那个声音打到了。
好，来，现在加交叉，好，来，背往右，往左，往右，往左，交叉上，交叉下，上下，是的，来，准备。
Hello, can everyone hear me? Hello, can everybody hear me?
Clear.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Hello, can everyone hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. We can hear you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
还有最后一个问题，不好意思。
So we have one more question.
Okay.
So it will take a long time to process and make other people aware. And it's a lot of hard work. So someone is asking if you could share with them about your human resources. Is there a researcher, an intern student, and how every person helps out with the community?
Oh, okay. I want to share something that as a foreign student you could do here, and that's also what we do. I don't think you don't need to be so like serious, like human research. It doesn't need to be like this. It could be very easy, you know, because I'm not a professor. so just leave the professor job to professor. but for you and me, what we can do here, I can share what we do. So this is what we do here. So for example, I have a line group. This line group, you can see, have 234 people in this group. So it's a big group, right? And in this group, everybody are built with trust. And we have consumer, we have people who's consumer, and the products seller. Yeah. Yes. And the seller. So
the seller could be just local people who's very good in making some baozi or bread, or it could be a farmer, a real farmer. But we don't have enough product to put in the market. So, but doesn't matter because it's just a 234 people's group. So we just post it on top, and the consumer will ask what your garden look like, what your land look like. Can you take picture for us? Or can I go to the place? Can I visit you? Can I see how you grow things? And you just say yes, come. And the consumer will go, and they saw that, and they said yes, it's safe, it's good. I trust you. After I trust you, what will happen? I will introduce my friend to join this group. So now this is like a small, not official market in Wufeng. Every Tuesday from 4:30 to 5:30 in the afternoon, they will gather together and then bring their product. So some people are very good in making baozi. They will bring some baozi. Some people are very good in making lunchbox. They will bring lunchbox. And some people are very good in growing vegetables, and they will bring vegetables to there. And people and there's no one really said, hey, I like there's no sign. There's no sign. And people just see, you are the sign. Oh. So they see you and they say, oh, I know. So they will post what I have. So for example, they will post their farmers. Farmers will post their farm and tell you what is this and how special this is. It's a Taiwan pepper. Or they will post this and say, hi, how much are you gonna sell? So this is actually built on trust, right? So this is one example. And the second example is we invite Indian students to come. So Indian students are very interesting about this, but they are just foreign students. They are only here for a couple months. So how are they gonna join to this system? They could also do what they're good at, because in India have very beautiful food culture, use a lot of natural spice. So they will bring their natural spice culture, and they are very good in use their hands to make bread. In Taiwan, our family don't really make bread easily, like daily life. But for Indian students, they told us their family could make the different bread every day, daily. It's like daily life for them. So they just share this skill for us, and they know how to. So this is this activity from them. They present their culture. This is a welcome pattern. And then we invite people come and make this bread. Different bread have different names, like naan or roti. So they make roti, and they make two types of bread, naan and roti. And so we bring people here and we share. We teach them how Indian people do. But we are in Taiwan, right? We don't have lots of Indian ingredients. So we use Taiwan ingredients to make Indian food. But luckily they know how to do it. I said, it's easy. So we just bought things from PX Mart, not from a special market, but a PX Mart. Everybody could get it. And we teach them how to make this together. And so they fry this. For Taiwanese, this is so interesting. And after this, we eat together, but we don't eat in the normal way. We eat in Indian way, so we use hands to eat. But for us, we don't know how to eat with hand, right? So Indian students teach us how to use one hand to break the bread and take the curry and put it in our mouth. This process is it's not only we learn a new skill, but also we learn culture from different countries, and everybody is so happy. And look at the table, right? You see, this table is actually very pretty. So this is what I talk about the taste. You don't only taste the good food. The best food is what you make, right? So you don't only taste the best food you make by yourself, but also you need to make the environment very pretty. So everybody, we take everybody to our little garden to bring them to understand what type of herb could eat. And like this is very beautiful flower. This is edible flower. So on this table, you can just get this flower. You can get the leaf on top of this table. Put it in your in this meal, and you put and you taste it, and you will taste a different taste. It change. It's not very traditional Indian taste anymore. After you put some Taiwan herbs inside your meal, it changes everything. So this is the way that they bring foreign culture to Taiwan culture together. And the most important thing is everybody feels something by themselves. So after this, Indian students share their story to us, how to wear sari. In Taiwan, these people never wear sari, so we don't know that sari could make our body shape so pretty. Because everybody are like 50 something or 60 something. They really need something to make their body shape look like young lady again. And they say, oh my god, this is my waist here. And like sorry, it make everybody look so elegant and pretty. So everybody just crazily takes pictures. After this activity, we have another activity, the same process again. They bring more friends to here and invite them to join us again. So you see, this is the second table, and more people join us. Right? So this is what you could do. It's very easy. Everybody can join us. Yeah. So this is what we do here. And if you guys are interested, you can also, you're from Indonesia, from Singapore, Japan, also come. And if you don't have any idea, it doesn't matter. We can just search on YouTube, on Google, and we can talk together. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so this is introduction. So as you can see right now, so they're actually having this activity to prevent dementia. So all the elders will follow the teacher on doing all these actions with songs they like or the famous song we know. Of course, you know this is a COVID-19 song in Vietnam. Am I right? I think so. Yeah. So, but anyway, no matter what it is, all the actions were designed especially for the elders. They're able to do all types of action to promote their health. So once in a while, they will have like 10 minutes to take a break. So I think it's also our time to have a break. So we're gonna disconnect for 10 minutes. So let's look at the time. So what time is it? 10:30, right? So let's come back at 20 to 11. 20 to 11. Okay, and please come back later. So I'm gonna disconnect for now. All right. So see you in 10 minutes.
Everyone. So today, hello. everyone. So today we are at the 921 Earthquake Museum, and we have here our tour guide for today, and she'll be introducing the place to us.
Okay, hello and good morning everyone. Welcome to the 91 Earthquake Museum of Taiwan. It's nice to meet you. I'm Janice. Okay, before we get into the museum, let me give a very short brief about it. Before it was built, it was the Guangfu Junior High School, so you can still see the playground over there. On September 21st, 1999, a global earthquake named Jiji earthquake hit central Taiwan. More than 2,400 people died, and thousands of buildings were damaged or cracked. So Guangfu Junior High School is one of the destroyed schools. Okay, the building of the museum started in 2003 and finished in 2007. There are 5 exhibition halls in this museum. There are the Chongpu Boat Gallery, the Earthquake Engineering Hall, the Image Gallery, the Disaster Prevention Hall, and Reconstruction Records Hall. Okay, the first one we are going to see is the Chongpu Boat Gallery. Okay, everyone, please follow me. Okay, as you can see, this big globe is not the same as the one we usually see, right? There are many orange lines and red spots on it. Do you know what do they mean? No. Okay, in fact, the Earth's surface is made of several plates. You can see some are big and some are small. The orange lines are the boundaries of each place. These plates are not fixed. Each plate moves in different directions at different speeds. Along the plane boundaries, the interaction between plates creates friction and stress. As a result, earthquakes happen. Okay, you also can see the red spots indicate where earthquakes happen frequently. There are 3 major earthquake zones in the world. More than 80% earthquakes happen around the Pacific Ocean. As you can see, Taiwan is located on a major earthquake zone. Also, Taiwan is between Philippine Sea Plate and the Eurasian Plate. That's why there are more than 30,000 earthquakes happen in Taiwan per year. That's amazing, right? So everyone, you also can find where is your country. Is your country located on the boundaries of plate or have red spots on it? Okay, maybe you can find, okay? Everyone in front of you is a real fault profile. Why I told that? Because after earthquake, I mean Jiji earthquake, this place was totally uplifted and deformed. When seismologists they came this place, they want to show everyone what inside, I mean in the fault. So they dig it and take off these parts of soil. So in front of you is a real fault profile. Okay, so everyone, can you do me a favor? Can you count how many layers of this rock formation? How many different layers in front of you? 4? Good job. That's the correct answer. In front of you, you can see here have 4 layers. Okay, the first one is stone on which school was built. Okay, the second one is sandy layer. The third one, sandy gravel, and the last one is Jingshui shell. In fact, we shouldn't see Jingshui shell here. Why? Because it's usually grown under the sea level, about 200 to 300 meters. So now we are not under the sea level, right? So why we can see it here? Maybe some reason, right? So when seismologists they came this place, they find the Jingshui shell. They was very excited. Right. Why? Because they expected they will find the same shell, I mean Jingshui shell, on your left-hand side. But after more than 2 meters digging, they couldn't find it, which means the Chongpu fault not only happened one time, it's happened many, many times to cause this part to uplift it. So this is a very important evidence of fault activity. Okay. The other one you can easy to see is the sand there. You can see it's not flat, right? But it should be flat. Why? Because it used to be a river bed. Okay, so it's just like your left-hand side, just like here. But after 91 earthquake, you can see on your right-hand side, it's totally uplifted and deformed. And here, somebody say it looked like a little bit like an S shape, an S shape. So here we can see the Chengfu fault is a structure fault. You can see two faults compacted together and one part uplifted and deformed. Okay. Chengfu fault not only cuts across this place, but also cuts across their plain ground and the classroom building. Let's keep going and take a look, okay? Okay, everyone, now in front of you is a Taiwan's map. You can see in this map, there are many red line, green line, and dash line in this map. Okay, which means the activity faults are found in Taiwan now. Now there are 33 activity faults are found in Taiwan. Yeah, so the Chengfu fault is the number 11, this one. You can see it's cut from the Tongtou Township in Miaoli. It's cut from the Tongtou Township in Nantou to Zhuan Township in Miaoli, where it cut across about 100 kilometers long. Okay, now we are still in the south of Taichung City. We are here. Okay, and you can see the real fault rupture is right behind you. I mean, over outside. You can take a look. Okay, everyone, now in front of you is the playground of the Guangfu Junior High School. After earthquake, Jiji earthquake, this place was totally uplifted about 2.44 meters high. But this place wasn't the highest place after earthquake. Right. The highest place in this place, Guangfu Junior High School, is that way. That way. Yeah. Okay, we can see it later. Okay. And before we keep going, I want to introduce the architecture. Okay. The designer, he was a Taiwanese. He thought the Chengfu fault left a very big wounds in Taiwan. Right. So he wants to use something special to stitch in these big wounds in the ground. So here you can see something special idea. Okay, now in front of you here, it means the boundary. Boundary. Okay, you also can take a look the top of the building, the roof. It means the needle. Needle. Okay, connecting roof and the boundary. The cable means the thread. Thread. Oh. So he wants to use needle and thread to stitch in this big wood in the ground. So right. Don't you feel it's really unique and warmful?
Right. It's like coming apart, but using this to come together. Yeah, that's right. So if you're interested about this, maybe you can stand in the high place to take a look. You can see the building is just like stitching a big wound in the ground. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Okay, let's keep going and take a look, okay? Okay, I think in Taiwan, most of you experienced earthquake before, right? But I think no one created your own earthquake. Oh, okay, now let's create our own earthquake, okay? Okay, everyone, when I count to 3, please stamp the floor 1 time, okay? 1 time. Together. Yeah, together, please. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's so weak. The biggest intensity, only 2. Okay, I need a volunteer to do me a favor. Can you do me a favor? Okay, thank you. You don't need stamp anymore, okay? I need your hand. Please hit this marble 1 time. But be careful your hand and be careful our desk, please. Okay, 1, ready? 1, 2, 3. Wow, the biggest intensity, 4. I know you eat 2 4 in the breakfast, right? That's kidding, that's kidding. Okay, never mind, okay? In fact, everyone, did you notice here has a seismometer here, right? In fact, everyone, you make a very big earthquake, but did you notice your big earthquake transfers for many material? The first is floor, second, wood, third, desk, in the end, to this seismometer. And this girl, you can see his earthquake the distance is pretty short, right? So here we can understand when earthquakes happen, the energy will decrease we can say that is seismic wave. Okay, the seismic waves energy will decrease with the distance. Okay, I think it's fun and easy to understand, right? Okay, let's keep going. When we keep going, you can see on your left-hand side, it shows from the Tongtou Township in Nantou to Zhuan Township in Miaoli, where Chengfu fault cuts across. You can see there are many pictures here. Okay. Okay, now everyone, did you notice the floor painting two colors? One part is red, one part is white. The red part indicates the playground of the Guangfu Junior High School before earthquake. Why 91 earthquake, also called Jiji earthquake? Because the epicenter. Okay, here you can see the red spot indicates the epicenter is in the Nantou Township in Jiji. So it's also called Jiji earthquake. Okay, and after the main shock, there happened many aftershocks. So here you can see the aftershock magnitude over than 5. You can see it's happened all the Taiwan islands. So, right? So, in that time, many people, even their building, didn't collapse. They didn't want to go back or want to go home. Why? Because they feel shaking all days. But it's true, because aftershocks happen about 6 months. Here you can see it's made. You can see the frequency is decreased with the time, but it's happened about 6 months. That's horrible, right?
It is.
Yeah. Okay, everyone, let's take a look at the picture number 7, 8, 9, and 10. Take a guess, where was it?
I'm guessing 8.
8? Okay, in fact, all of them is here.
Oh,
yeah. So here you can see, I told you before, the white line indicates the Chengpu Falls Castle course. Okay, you can see it's all Guangfu Junior High School after Jiji earthquake. Okay, and maybe we can, not maybe, we can see it later, okay? Here, the class building. Okay, we kept that, okay? Okay, we can see this picture, the picture number 5. Okay, after earthquake, Jiji earthquake, the highest place, uplifted, highest place was not in Guangfu Junior High School, it's in the Shigang Dam. The Shigang Dam after earthquake uplifted about 9.8 meters high. It's almost about 3 stories of the building, right?
Right.
It's horrible, right? Okay, in observing the Chengpu Falls Gallery, we have learned that during the the fault, the land will be uplifted or deformed. Okay, here, everyone, in front of you is the specialized classroom of the Guangfu Junior High School. Okay, everyone, please take a look here. You can see the damaged column here. Here. You can see the damaged column here is totally dislocated from their foundations.
Right.
You can see this building, it looks very dangerous, right?
Yeah.
Maybe when future earthquake, no earthquake or typhoon coming, it will collapse immediately, right? So to protect it, we do something. Okay, the steel we call a truss is to lateral support for this building. And you also can see lots of acrylic columns are stored inside. It's also to support this building too. Okay, before we keep going, everyone please take a look on your left-hand side here. Before earthquake happened, Jiji earthquake happened, they combined together. They called Guangfu Junior High School and Elementary School. But after Jiji earthquake, you can see on our left-hand side, the elementary school didn't rebuild. It looks well, right?
It does.
But you can take a look at Guangfu Junior High School. Oh my God, it's totally collapsed, right? So why make different situation after earthquake? Why? They're so closer, right?
Yeah.
But different situation.
Yeah.
Why? What? Do you remember I told you before the Chengpu Falls is a structured fault? I think the Guangfu Junior High School is very bad luck because it's standing on the hanging wall side.
Yeah.
So when earthquakes happen, it totally collapses.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my.
And I want to, before we keep going, I want to introduce here. Did you notice on the one floor, there have a picture, right?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Picture.
Yeah. Do you want to guess what the god they pray for?
Is it Buddha?
No.
What sort of god?
It's land god.
Oh, that's
Land god.
ironic.
Yeah, land god.
Wow.
But don't you feel weird? Why schools putting land god's pictures here?
To protect them?
Protect them. In fact, before earthquake, after this picture was their canteen of Guangfu Junior High School. Canteen.
Right.
Okay, they pray for good business.
Oh.
And in Taiwan, we have word which says 老行在在. You can see the land god's pictures standing well, but you can see all buildings is collapsed, right?
Right.
In different situations.
Oh, I see.
Okay, now everyone, we are in the South classroom of the Guangfu Junior High School. Okay, before earthquake, there was 3 stories of the building. But now, for safety, we just say 1 floor because we want to lose the weight of the building. Okay. Let's take a look at the damage column here. Did you notice in the bottom is almost intact, right? Why? Because you can see the adjoining low wall restricted the portion, and this situation worsened the situation when earthquakes happen. So we call this is short column effect.
Right.
Okay. We know a column is just like a building's leg, right? Without the healthy columns, the building can stand for too long, right? Nowadays, there are many tools to repair the damaged column. In the South Classroom building, we applied 4 different methods to repair the damaged columns. Okay, the first one here, this one, we call this is CSRP. It uses the carbon fiber reinforced polymer. The short name is CSRP. It's just like giving the damaged column the bondage, wrap the bondage, okay? And the second one here, you can see it's used actual plate to repair the damaged column.
Right.
Okay, the third one, this one, it has a very cute name. It's called wing wall. Wing wall. It's just giving the damaged column. It's just like giving the damaged column a wing. Okay. Okay. The next one, this one, you can see is bigger than usual, right? It's called RC jacking. It gives the damaged column actual concrete and rebar.
Right.
So you can see it's bigger than usual. Okay.
Okay.
Let's keep going and take a look. Okay.
Okay.
那么就去室内吧。建议一起用吗？不好意思哦，因为你们没有整地。等一下，等一下。Hey everyone, have you ever heard about soil liquefaction? Soil liquefaction. If you didn't heard about that, that's okay. After earthquake, you can see some building outside looks well, just like this. But it's just like sinking, right? So if you find this situation, that means here happens soil liquefaction. Okay, let me show you what is soil liquefaction, okay? Here, I have 2 small house models in my hand. This one has normal foundations. Let's build it here. And this one has piles. Okay, let's build it here. Can anyone do me a favor? I need someone to simulate earthquakes happen. Okay, thank you. Okay, everyone, take a closer look here. Okay, good job. Thank you. Did you notice here, this building is start to sinking, right?
Right.
And this building, you can see, ta-da, it's fine, right? And did you notice the ground full of the water? But before earthquake, didn't have water, right? Okay, so if you see this situation, which means here happens soil liquefaction. But after earthquake, not all areas will happen soil liquefaction. It has to be here, usually for the sand and the water. Let's think about where usually for sand and the water. Here, maybe near the river or the sea, right? So In fact, we didn't suggest everyone build your house near this place, but if you really, really want to do that, that's okay. But you have to do something to overcome this problem, okay? You have to use piles into the hard rock, okay? Okay, I think it's fun and easy to understand, right? Okay.对对对。等一下。Okay, everyone, before earthquake happens, let's take a guess. Which building will build up first? Take a guess. This?
Alright, let's guess that one.
This one, okay. And which one will be most safety house after earthquake?
We'll guess this one.
Okay, I need one volunteer to do me a favor. Okay, gentlemen, can you do me a favor? Okay, everyone, wait a minute. At the beginning, I just need small earthquake. Okay, small earthquake.
Small one like that. How's that? Okay.
Not bad, but maybe it's stronger.
Stronger.
Okay, this one fell down first, right? Good job. Keep going, okay? Okay, second. Keep going. Second, a third. You did really, really good job. Here, you can see it's fine, good swell, right? And in fact, in Taiwan, we know Taiwan is a very small island, but in this island, we have lots of people here. But in Taiwan, for most of Taiwanese, we will do something unusual. For example, if we want to install the speaker, we will take off the wall or the column by ourselves. Or maybe we have new member to join our family. We will add maybe 1 to 2 floors of the building.
Oh yeah.
Right? So in usual, maybe it looks fine, but in fact, it's really, really dangerous. Why? Because every big column or the wall, they all have their foundation. So take off it by ourselves is really, really dangerous. Okay? Okay, everyone, now in front of you is the north classroom of the Guangfu Junior High School. When earthquake happened, the Chongpu Fault struck this building, so it collapsed immediately when earthquakes happened. Okay, the north classroom has 3 stories of the building, but when earthquakes happen, you can see it totally collapsed, especially the first story, right? Somebody say it looked like pancakes. What do you think, pancakes? And here we also can see here, inappropriate rebar arrangements are seen at many beam column joints, and these weak points cause the specific situation you can see just like this. Okay. And finally, Chongpu Fault left from this school from their main gate. Okay, and keep going to the North Mountain. Okay, everyone, now in front of you is the main gate of the Guangfu Junior High School. Interesting, you can see the Chongpu Fault cut course from the main gate. Keep going to the North Mountain.
Right.
Okay, everyone, do you feel hot today?
Yes.
Here we have the swimming pool of the Guangfu Junior High School, but now it can't use. It's because it's broken, you can see.
So when
Okay, here in front of you is the image gallery. Before earthquake, the image gallery was their gym of the Guangfu Junior High School. But after earthquake, it didn't collapse. So we rebuilt this building. So here, in the image gallery, there have 2 important theaters in our museum. The first one you can see movie, and the other one you can experience earthquake. Okay, so if you would like, you can join the earthquake experience theater. or see a movie, okay? Okay, we know in Taiwan, we not only have earthquake, this disaster, but we also have typhoon. So this display will talk about the flood. Let's keep going, take a look.
强震警报，预估震度有级，请避免失散。
大家好，我是地震调查局的局长林博士。你们好，我是地震调查局的特派大使欧阳伦。我已经收到各位的调查报告了，待会地震调查局就来呈现各位的调查结果。没错，待会呢我们会回到921地震的当天晚上，一起来看看那个晚上究竟发生什么事情。紧接着呢，会再体验第二次的震动。在第二次的震动，各位将会体验到有了智慧保障的科技所能带来的改变。局长，我一直有疑问，地震预警，我们到底怎么样做到预警？这个问题很好，相信各位已经找到一些线索。地震预警呢，主要是看地震波的传递的特性。地震波呢有分两种，一种速度比较快的梯波，跑得比较快；一个比较慢，但是比较破坏力比较大，它会让从防护左右化的 S 波。就像我们常听到人家讲，地震来的时候，心脏要震了一下，隔10秒，左摇右晃。好，那如果说我们这把刚来的梯波 侦测到，然后预估等一下的 S 波有多大，譬如这个6级或者7级的波，那我们就可以用时间做好准备喽。原来如此，而且根据你们的调查报告，我们可以知道，如果地震预警系统再加上智慧防灾的科技设备，把家里所有的设备做一个智慧联动，那效果会更好哦。那是当然的喽。想当年911地震的时候，地震一下就来，大家当然惊慌失措了。那现在呢，在我们还没感受地震要来的时候，警报器就响了，灯也开好了，引导我们去安全的地方躲起来喽。那瓦斯也帮我们关好，门也帮我们打开，那是不是有更安全的准备呢？等等。在这里要提醒你们，等一下实验过程当中要安安稳稳的做好，地震的威力你们可是非常了解的，随时随地要保持自身安全。过程中有任何不舒服的时候，请记得举手，我们会立刻主动协助。如果没有问题的话，我们现在就开始吧。地震又要来了，大家准备好了吗？
强震警报，预估震度7级。
地震预计，再加上智慧防灾科技，确实可以解决很多事情。而且地震发生的同时，智慧防灾系统做起都会在手机的 APP 有通知哦。赶快看看四周的伙伴是不是都有走在安全的避难点呢？虽然地震的威力惊人，但是我们可以透过万全的准备，把伤害减低到最小，让每个人有最好的准备面对地震的来临。经过刚刚考验，局长说我们每个人都正式成为调查局的一员了。准备。
好，刚刚实验结束了，来我们自己的学生。Okay, everyone, here is the last gallery, reconstruction records hall. In this gallery, you can see there are many documents to be kept. Okay, it shows you can see the government and the society did after earthquake. I mean 9/11 earthquake. Right. So you can slowly keep going and take a look. Okay. Okay.
麦克风就是直接就有声音是吗？
应该是。然后我刚接。And then please monitor the sound for us, including the feedback from the. Okay, yeah.
开始了吗？可以有听到声音吗？有 ，OK， 好。Hello, it's Sylvia again. So
Hello.
I only work for Jiuzhen community. I'm also one of Asia University INGO Research Center's team member, one of the team member. So here we don't call us as Asia University INGO Research Center, but we call us TTW. What does TTW mean? It means Transition Town Wufeng. And what is Transition Town Wufeng? This is what we try to tell people here. Although it's called research center, but it don't look like research center. So let me show you what it look like, and then I will slowly tell you what TTW means for us. Transition Town Wufeng's value. What is this? And how we link to community care, and how we link to the local community people. So first, if you try to understand this place, you need to understand what this Guangfu village's history. And Guangfu village history is have the urban plan from Garden City. I think maybe lots of you heard about Garden City. Some of you never heard about Garden City. So it doesn't matter. Garden City is just urban plan, try to solve the problem between city growing so quick and people only stay inside the city, but because of lots of people go into stay in the same area, this area become too crowded. Everything is very pricey. For example, if you live in the center of Taichung City, you know the rent price will be very high. You know the food price definitely higher than Wufeng. You know lots of things that you want to buy might be higher than Wufeng. So if you want to stay in the city, first you might need to sacrifice your living space, and second things you might have to be able to get a good job, good enough to give you the life you want. So Garden City is start from 18th century. What happened in 18th century? 18th century actually happened is the Industrial Revolution. So after Industrial Revolution happened, a lot of people start to be able to use train, to use car to get into the city. The city start to have a lot of factory, a lot of job opportunities. So people start to stay inside the city. But think about that, 15 years, 20 years ago, lots of people still live in the countryside, right? So they are not very used to live in the city. So what will happen? Back to the 18th century, lots of people stay in the city and they actually cannot get a good job, good enough to provide them good enough living space or food to make them survive. So lots of people actually stay in the city. They couldn't find a job give them enough money, so they couldn't afford to live in a good place. Their living place are very crowded. If the living place is very crowded and it's 18th century, what will happen? How we gonna clean? How we gonna use toilet? Imagine how we gonna use toilet. How we gonna pee? How we gonna where are we gonna do all of these things? In countryside, what we do, you know what we do? We just dump in the paddy. That's it. We just, you know, there's a lot of natural things will make this clean. Will make our environment clean. But in the city, back to 18th century, they don't have that kind of system. So so this is one thing happened. People die from disease. And second thing is they die from hunger, because that time, if you want to deliver food from countryside to the city, you need to use train system, right? And train costs money. So the transportation costs a lot of money. So the food price goes up. And not to mention a lot of public area. That time they don't have a lot of social care idea. So a lot of people actually couldn't get very good care from the government. So that's why in the 18th century, one of a very famous researcher, he is named Howard. He said, let's think about how to find the balance between work and live in our life. So they find a balance between living and working. So what's going on? Just take a look at this circle. This is the city center, and this is the city county. For example, in Taichung City, it could be the Taichung City Center. It could be Taichung train station. It could be a Chaoma area. You know, this place is very expensive, but they have a lot of different work opportunity. But some of the people cannot afford to live here. So if they still want to have enough area, they want to have good food to eat, they want to have big area to live, they could choose to live in Wufeng, Dali, Taiping, you know, somewhere around the city. It's called city county. So, but for example, Taiping have a lot of factory, so it could be a factory area. And here, Wufeng is a farming area. So if Wufeng people are good in farming, they can still keep the farming culture here, and they can still find some of their family members can still find a farming job around here, and some of their family members need to go to the city. They go to work, and after they finish work, they come back to their hometown to stay, and they can afford to live in Wufeng. They know they have a big place to live here. And most importantly is after this kind of things happened, this is a farming area, this is a factory area, this could be something else. Everybody will have the unique things in their small area. So once this circle happened, they could talk about what they really need. For example, Wufeng have more and more elders here. So we might need a good hospital, not a normal small hospital. We need a very good hospital that could take care of our body when we have when we need to do surgery, or when we need to do very good healthy healthy care or health check. Then you don't need to go to the city center to wait for the very good healthy care. You can go to Asia University Hospital, right? So that's why Asia University has hospital be here. And also sometimes we have a lot of kids here in Wufeng, and the kids need a place in library for them to have kid book to read. So you see, if you go to Yiwen Library in Wufeng, this is an Wufeng Public Library, you will see an area for kids to have their own place, own book for them to read. And some parents will say, hey, I need more activity for our kids. Is it possible? Then we don't need to, but you don't really need to ask the government. You can just ask, hey, if anyone want to be the volunteer, can you be the storyteller? Yes, I could. Then you just be the storyteller. You be the volunteer for everybody's kid. So in the kid area, I think on Saturday, or I think it's on Saturday, in a special time. They will have the volunteer to be the storyteller, to tell the kids about what the book talk about. So this is what happens after you find the balance between work and living, and people will start to think about, hey, this is my city, what I want. I should tell what I want. And later I will tell you how Guangfu Village make this happen in here. Guangfu Village is actually try to find the balance between work and living, and because of the history background. So now you see is a living area, and later if you get the chance to see the working area, it's just right next to Guangfu Village. So so this is the idea about Garden City. And the third things I want to talk about is when Garden City happened, it will be very different in different country. For example, in Taiwan, everybody are very used to, because Taiwan is very small, right? So if I want to go to work, I don't want to spend too much time to go to work. I could only afford to spend 20 minutes to 30 minutes from my home to workplace. So if I want to work, I don't go to Taipei to work because it took me 2 hours. But if you live in Canada, or if you live in America, the US, you might be able to afford 1 hour to go to work. It's affordable for people who live in the big lands country, because it's okay for them. But for Taiwanese, we will go crazy. It's like, oh, we go to different cities. So if Garden City really one of the Garden City is we try to it actually goes to nature, is people who live in Wufeng, like the city county, will slowly find the balance between living and working distance. And also you should try to find the balance that try to not make the city growing too big. The city shouldn't growing too crazy big. City should grow in the certain size that is good and good enough for local people, that they can afford to. I can afford to live in Wufeng. I want to go to Taichung City to work. It only took me 30 minutes to go to Taichung City. So I will come back home. I come back home and I still have this big area to live. I can do something else. I can take care of my kids. My kids in Wufeng have good library. We have good elementary school. We have good hospitals. So slowly, it's like growing in nature, that local people will try to find the balance, and they will try to find the resource that they need in here. So this is the Garden City idea. So after Garden City, this is what we think. After Garden City in 19th century, in 18th, 19th century, in 20th century, someone who's called Rob Hawkins, he is also from England. He find some problem in nowadays. So think about Garden City. We find the problem that city growing too big. People don't have good life. So Howard, he said, let's do Garden City. And nowadays, what we have, what kind of problem we have? We have climate change. We have oil peak. We don't know how to face to the nature, and nature, our environment is becoming so unpredictable, and make our life is more hard to live. So we need to change our lifestyle, and this is the transition. So this guy, whose name is Rob Hawkins, he started to talk about transition, the idea of transition. And it don't start from big concept. It starts from one town. It's called Totnes in the UK, in England. So he started to say, hey, let's have a transition movement. And in Totnes, this small town. So they call themselves Transition Town Totnes. Now, what happened in Transition Town Totnes? First, he has also tried to gather everyone in Totnes. Not everyone, but people who understand the value, and ask them, hey, what do you think? How are we gonna face this problem? What kind of problem you think is a problem for you? And how you gonna face to it? Somebody said, I want to have healthy food. I want to have organic food, but I don't have land to grow the food. So I just buy something from someone else and it's too pricey. I don't know how to find a balance. So let's start to think what we should do, right? So somebody will say, okay, then come to my home. I have a land. I don't know how to grow things. If you're interested to know, then we find someone who know how to grow things. Together, we try to make this land grow something healthy, organic, and we can eat together, we can share. So this is the idea start. Different people have different skills. We share our skills, we work together, and then we make our life better. So somebody have the problem, somebody give the resource, somebody give the idea. Work together, you solve the problem. So after 10, 15 years later, Transition Town Totnes start to have different type of problem, and they find the solution for them. For example, they find how to have how to make the how to plant in different place. Even you just have a wall, they can have the different they will find different plants that is good for your wall, that look pretty and beautiful. At the same time, they give you food. Or somebody know how to share their skills, they know how to cook, then somebody provide the food, then people teach you how to cook. So you don't need to go to cram school to learn how to cook. Somebody just share. All you need to pay is the food that you grow by yourself. So it's very easy. Or somebody know how to do the art. So they have movie festival, local art festival, or they also try to, once you have different type of festival, you have entertainment, then the people from outside, they will come inside, right? The tourists come, they bring money come, and they give you more resource. Then you can have your own system work better. So after 20 years later, they start to have their own currency. Once they have their own currency, they don't need to controlled by the world economic situation. For example, now we have coronavirus, COVID-19. So what happened is the world economic system is actually crashed. If you have American dollar, it don't worth like before. It's still worth something, but it don't. If you have, like, you used to have it, but now it's not, because the currency prices did change. But in Transition Town Totnes, because they have their own currency, they can define the currency meaning for them. So if I am a professor, and at the same time I have a neighbor who is the cleaning lady for the public street, who should get higher price? Who should get higher salary? Who? The professor or the cleaning lady who clean the street for everyone? So we don't know, but they know. They can define the price, because maybe I think the cleaning lady clean the street for our town, for Totnes, is worth more. So that's why after they have this currency, everybody start to think, hey, I should think about what is best for my town. So they start to think about, hey, I should have this for my town. My town people have this problem. If I have this small store, or I have this business can solve this problem, then I can get more Totnes currency. So this is the idea. So they start to have more and more enterprise, social enterprise. So this is what transition town look like in Toteness. And then because this movement is very interesting for everyone in the world, so it started to be more and more people, more and more town join. And now Wufeng also joined. Now in the world have more than 300 transition town. And everybody use the different way to use the local resource and local people to make this transition movement happen. And we are also trying to do this in Guangfu village in Wufeng. And so Wufeng course is actually one of it. So let me show you how we're gonna do it. Okay. So first thing is we try to, so first thing is we have this place, and this is called INGO, right? INGO is International Non-Government Organization, but it doesn't matter. It does matter only if you want to do something and you don't need to ask the government to help. You can do by yourself, even it's very small. So it's like transition town, very small movements can change everything. So for example, we always have the movie theater. This is our movie theater. And we have the projector. We can project the movie here. And then we don't have chair, right? So we just put some clothes on the ground and we watch the movie together. We do the popcorn that we did by ourselves. We pop the popcorn by ourselves. And the popcorn flavor is choose from the garden we have. Sometimes we have the beetroot. So we have beetroot flavor of popcorn. So it's different way. And then after the movie finished, we lay down and watch the, look at the sky and enjoy the late night talk. So here, the professor and student talk together. You know, we lay down together, talk together, watch movie together. It's not like professor and student. We are transition town Wufeng's member. So so I will show you this garden that we built. So this is our garden. Our garden use different ways to talk about the value of the garden can look like. So for example, we hope everything can be back to the garden again. So if we have the grass that we don't want, or we have the food that we couldn't finish, we will put it back. We will put it to there and wait for a couple months. After a couple months, 3 months later, it will back to soil, and then we will put it back to this garden again. Or for example, this is something that we grow together, and you see this is not very pretty, but it doesn't matter. We just want to deal with it, so we just do it together. It's like the experiment place for us. None of us are the real farmers, so none of us really know how to do it, but we just learn together. And this is very interesting for us to see the plants that we grow really grow up, and then we know this food is how I take good care of it. So it's like our valuable work, and then we get it back to our kitchen to cook together. And then while we cook, we don't cook in the normal way because we spend a couple months to take care of it, and the land give us food. We give the food the creative idea. So the food that we grow, it don't waste. For me, it's not gonna be waste because we will try to use every single part of the food. So I will show you. If it's possible, welcome to come here. And so, for example, this is called 万寿芳香菊. This is a kind of herb that's everywhere in Taiwan. And this is actually a couple months ago. It have very beautiful orange flowers here. So we always get the flowers and get this herb. And this herb smell very good. It have a passion fruit, mixed passion fruit and some mint, I think. This smell very good. So I would get this and yeah. I will get this, I will get some of other plants, and then I will make tea. So later we will make tea together. And also we invite Wufeng's Aboriginal people who's called Ameizu. So okay, Amis. Okay. So Amis, they came here. They bring their the idea of food. Their idea of food is different because they're in their education, they will teach their kids to know the grass. Well, I mean, it's like a normal grass for us, but for them, it's all different type of vegetable. It's eatable for them, so that they will know what type of food like this could be eat. So this is actually, but you don't eat directly like this. So they will fry it, or they will fry it, and or they will make it into juice. And actually, in our culture, we have this, but we don't use the leaf. Only Amis use the leaf. We use the root. So before we interact with Amis, we don't know this leaf can be eat. After they told us, it's like a big surprise for us, and it's also a big surprise for them. So recently, I interact with one Amis, and she told us that when she was little, everybody around them they have dragon fruit. Anyone know dragon fruit? So do you know dragon fruit flower can be eat? Yes, so dragon fruit flower can be eat, but in my culture we only eat the fruit itself. But in Amis culture, they eat the flower, and the you have to wait for the flower to grow up. It will become the fruit. And she said after she is 20 something, after she leave her hometown, she saw the dragon fruit. This is the first time she saw dragon fruit. She never know the flower can grow like that, because they always eat the flowers, and that's so interesting for us. So so this is what they look like. Okay. 我们走最后面好了，后面应该也可以走。Okay. 等下帮我关门。So now you see here is the kitchen area. It's not only the kitchen area. We see it as our living room, Wufeng's people's living room. So everybody can come here to sit, to enjoy the food that we present. And food is actually in our garden. If you know what kind of food can be eat, like what I said, then we can make tea. So I'll make tea now. So, 放在这里。Okay. Okay. Take a look, my tea. That's it. But later, after we leave it for like 5 minutes, it will the taste will change, and it will give you a little bit passion fruit flavor in this water. And So this is actually what we do, and actually it looked pretty, right? Look pretty. If I could put it here, it will be a very pretty water to present. And or sometimes we have our coffee here, and the coffee we use is not normal coffee, but 公平贸易怎么讲？雨林咖啡 fair trade coffee beans, but actually it's in Indonesia in the forest. So we try to make, but this is like back to 20 something years ago. Okay, so lots of Taiwanese people want to have a good coffee, but we don't know where to get the good coffee. So one of Taiwanese, he went to Indonesia and he find a very good coffee beans, but he find out that he know what Taiwanese want. That we want a very good quality. The quality is not only about the taste, but also about the organic way, or it should be safe enough for us to have. And so he went to Indonesia and cooperated with local coffee tree farmers, and they worked together to make the coffee tree to be survive in the forest, and tell Taiwanese about the story, and Taiwanese are willing to pay higher price, because that time we don't have good coffee. So we're willing to pay higher price, not only to get a good coffee, but also support the value of protect forest. So they start to have this fair trade system through a coffee beans. And here we will also share this kind of value, that what one people can do for the world, for one system. So here we always tell people that you don't need to really understand a very hard theory. You don't need to study for the theory. All you need to do is you bring the question, or you just join us, or you bring your skills, any kind of skills, or you just come and talk to people, and then later you will find out what you have, and you will be surprised that how much ability you have that can solve one's problem. So here we always have different type of student come, and they bring different type of problem, and then some other students or some other people from the community, they will come here and they heard about the problem, and then they will give you the solutions or give you the resource. So this is a very experiment place that we always have different type of experiment. And you have any idea, you're willing to come. And now I'm going to show you our intern students from Asia University. They're also from social work department. So, 你们准备好了吗？我要进去喽。看我们演的很有戏哦。Okay, let's come to visit them. Okay. 你们可以分享一下你们在这边做的事情。Okay, so 介绍一下你自己好了。
我是那个
英文，你可以吗？不行，没关系，我帮你翻译。
不会讲英文。现在我在这边实习，我刚来这边第
看镜头。Okay, so he's just got here 4 days ago for his intern.
然后
你叫什么名字？
我叫朱克璇。
So his name is 克璇朱。
然后我现在就是我在做的事情是，因为我们之后会有活动，然后需要募款，然后我在那个学习怎么做一个好的募款专案。
Okay, so later we have a movie festival, but a special movie festival gonna link to the Links family. So is a very important family in Taiwan history. So he is, but for this festival, we need money, and we don't have any government that can help us. We don't have government resource to help us. So now we try to get to something like Kickstarter to get raising money from everyone in the world, or in Taiwan at least. So he is doing the research to see how to present the idea, how to have a good raising money project on internet. Yes. So that we can show people the movie that we want to show. Yeah. Okay. 啊，你嘞？
大家好，我是
OK
南大进修3年级社工系的学生，来这里学
昆玉，你叫昆，
名字叫谢昆玉。
Okay, so his name is Kun Yu Xie Kun Yu, and he is also the intern student here from social work department.
希望能在光复新村学习到跟社区有关的
是说什么废话？
就是光复新村他们。
你在做什么？
我现在是在做。
He tried to be very official and just said no, you don't need to be like that.
工作的理论。
Okay, so because he's still a student, so he tried to understand how to put the point of the social work theory to practice. Yes. But actually, he is a very good student. That he is not afraid to do a lot of things that most of students couldn't do. For example, the garden is very hard for us to take care of it, but for him, it's like a piece of cake. Like, it's nothing. I just, I know how to take care of it. And he's very good in speaking Taiwanese. Like me, I'm Taiwanese, but I'm not good in speaking Taiwanese. He's very good. So he can always communicate with local people easily. With Taiwanese, you can, it's a magic language that links to local people immediately, and they will share a lot of idea that I never heard about. With Chinese, when I speak Chinese, I couldn't, they wouldn't share. Somehow they will share in Taiwanese. So Kun Yu and the coaching. Okay. Okay. So if you are interested to be okay, so if you are interested to be on one of our partner, you can come and take a look. So for example, here we have a lot of different products, and all the product is from the community. So recently we have this community day and community night. Every Tuesday, we have community night for everyone that they can come and share, just talk, randomly talk, anything, or they can bring their question to here. We just talk and be friends, eat together, have dinner together. And if they have some products, they can present here. And because this is also a tourist spot. So some tourists come, they can also buy things from here. And Ufeng is famous for rice, lychee, and honey, and longyan. Longyan, just longyan. Okay, so this is the products that Ufeng people made, and this is community products from Liugu community. Different community have different community products, and all the products have their own value behind the products. And like what I said in Zhouzhen community, this is for all the products can help local social care system work more easier without government's help, can make them independent. So, and the second thing that we also have is we have this. So this is a table game that we made. Oh, board game. So this is a board game that we made. But the board game we made is not the normal board game. We make this for 12节气怎么讲呢？ Oh, seasons in lunar calendar. Okay, seasons in lunar calendar. So they have 12 seasons. Oh no, 24 seasons for different time, and we teach them how to know what kind of food to eat in that season, and what kind of food they should eat in that season is actually the season's plants. So this is what they made, and it's very interesting to see. Or we will make 没有，好，没有，对对对 ，OK， 好。So we make all type of things to share the value about things that we want to talk about through the game. So you see, this is we teach people how to cook. So in the certain season, you should cook certain food. This is chicken soup. This is 粽子鱼. I think a lot of people might experience this just last month. This is called bamboo dumpling. Okay, so that's it. And also this is also the story box about the 大叶甜香 story that I made. Okay. Yes. So does anyone have any questions?